Yes, we are live. Happy to be here. Happy to be seen. And Happy New Year, my friends. Welcome back. The 2023 version of In the Car with Star is live. Welcome to my beautiful Ash Gregoire Shaman and Nissan Maxima, the SR trim line. 300 horsepower in this bad boy. You too can ride in style and drive your dream Nissan. Simply go to shamanandnissan.com. You can book your appointment. You can book a test drive, have them bring the car to you. And, of course, they are Quebec's #1 rated Nissan dealership. So happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome back. It was nice to take a little bit of a break, a nice little 2-week reprieve in the aftermath of the holiday season coming and going. And I have some good news. I actually have some great news for you. I haven't really made any type of announcement prior to today, but we got a new dog. Yes, it's been over a year since our beloved Leon had passed away on December 2nd, 2021. And yeah, we rescued another dog. So we got a new dog. I went down to Williston, Vermont on December 21st to rescue our boy. And so, long story short, really, what had happened was I've had dogs my entire life. I've always been a big dog kind of guy, and I've always had pit bulls. I love pitties. I've had them since I was a little boy. My first pit bull was Muggsy. He was a 100-pound pitty, as soft as could be. I had birthday parties at my house where 10, 15 classmates of mine would come over, and they'd all be tugging on the dog, petting the dog, riding him like he's some sort of pony. And I always believe that good dogs are because of good owners. Bad dogs come from bad ownership. And I just believe that rescue dogs, all they need is a little bit of love, a little bit of attention. And so we rescued a Staffy. So we named him Hank. I'll have some pictures posted soon. Hopefully I'll have him in the car with me. And so we've had him for what's going to be, I guess, 2 weeks tomorrow. And he's been great. Got him from Houston, Texas. They've got some really, poor laws that protect animals and animal rights. And there's a lot of neglected dogs there. And, I looked around various rescue sites in Quebec, in Montreal, and I couldn't find kind of what I wanted. And lo and behold, I found a couple of different websites, searched what I wanted. And let me tell you something, and I'm grateful for this. Let me tell you something. The vetting process was quite substantial. And again, I'm grateful for this. Like, I needed 3 references. The rescue center called each and every single one of my references. So thank you, everybody, for stepping up and being one of my references. And ultimately, I was on the phone with these people for days and hours at a time. And again, I respect the fact that they really do their due diligence and really vet who they're going to basically allow to have a dog, whether you rescue from their center or otherwise. So I was certainly appreciative of that. And our boy Hank, that's his name, Hank, has adjusted to life here. I mean, he was on a bus, basically a bus from Houston all the way up to Williston, Vermont, because you're not allowed to bring a dog from the USA into Canada for the purpose of rescuing, right? Like, you could bring your dog wherever you want, obviously. So I had to cross the border. Then I had to declare the dog and bring him back and pay the taxes on the dog and all that other stuff. So that's kind of what I spent my holiday time doing. And that's why I was off for a couple of weeks and just spending time at home with our family and bonding with the dog and making sure the dog is comfortable in our environment and dealing with the snow. It's super fun to watch the dog deal with snow for the first time in his life. And he's adjusted nicely to our little life here in Montreal. So that's kind of what's been happening. So stay tuned, friends. I'll have pictures of Hank the Tank and maybe a little In the Car with Star video appearance. And as I've been telling you, you could still see Little Bear, their logo on my screen, right? They've been a proud sponsor of mine for a few months. And this is a locally owned and operated pet store in downtown Montreal and Westmount specifically. You can find them online at littlebearonline.com. And it's not an advertisement. I just want to tell you that this, Chuck and his wife and their incredible hardworking staff at Little Bear were amazing to us when it came to rescuing Hank and making sure Hank had a very comfortable life to begin his life here in Montreal. And so yeah, we spent a lot of money. I'm not gonna lie. I dropped rescuing Hank was $500 USD. And basically, to get them started, you needed toys, you needed a bed, you needed bowls, you needed a leash, you needed a collar, you needed food, blah, 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 blah. You know what it's like. So yeah, we went into Little Bear, support local, shop local, and yeah, we dropped another $500 at Little Bear. And by the way, the bang for the dollar at Little Bear cannot be beat. And most importantly, you're supporting local. So it's just a shout out to some great people doing great things that care for your pets. I'm a very passionate individual when it comes to animals, specifically dogs. I love cats. I'm not just because I'm a dog guy doesn't mean I'm anti-cat. I love kitties too, but I do consider myself more of a dog guy. I would love one day to have 3 dogs and 3 cats. I'd love goats and pigs too, and cows. I would love all that stuff. I don't want to eat any of those animals. I would love to have them on my property one day. #goal. So that's kind of what's been happening in my life a little bit. It's part of the reason why I was away for a couple of weeks from this space in particular, even though that really wasn't my plan on the onset. But, life throws hurdles your way, and it's your job to overcome them and to hurdle over them, so to speak. And we've done that. So good to see y'all. Good to be back in the car with Star. Proud presentation, as always. K-Stop Gas Bar and Depoter, Highway 138 in Ganawage. Premium fuel at discount prices. Support me. You can support my sponsors like K-Stop Gas Bar and Depoter. Bob Irvine, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to 2023. Is Hank going to be the biggest star? Yes, Hank is already a superstar. I got to tell you, Leon, my previous dog, who was a rescue as well, weighed close to 100 pounds. He was over 90 pounds, and he was a big boy. He took up a lot of space. Hank is pushing 50 pounds, and he's kind of going to stay around there. He's under 2 years old. I didn't want a puppy. I wanted a dog who was already kind of housebroken, and then I'll train the dog the rest of the way. Just with my schedule, oh, excuse me, a puppy is not something that's in the cards for me, personally speaking. There's a lot that goes into that. I need my sleep. My sleep is a priority, and puppies, just right now at this stage of my life, we're not at that point yet. Steph Howard, what up? Hey, good. What up, Steph? Cornish Red Ones, the best cats for you. Personality. Thank you very much. Yeah, I like kitties. I don't really know breeds of cats, so to speak. So it's been a load of fun, man. So if you can rescue a dog, having a dog in your life really truly is living your best life. Unfortunately, for Canadiens Nation, living your best life has been hard to come by. And as we get closer to the NHL trade deadline, we're now into January here. I'm ready for winter to be over. But this season now, as we told you, and look, I don't want to be an I told you so guy, but I told you guys this was coming. And I told you guys to enjoy the ride, enjoy the honeymoon phase, enjoy Martin St. Louis and his systemless system, enjoy Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield and Juraj Slafkovsky, watching Kirby Dach become an integral part to a Canadiens' #1 line. Enjoy all that stuff. And you don't believe me, go back on my YouTube channel and look at some of the earlier videos I told you when I told you about the strength of schedule and I told you the honeymoon phase that this team was in. So I'm not here to tell you, oh my God, I can't believe what's happening. The Montreal Canadiens are garbage. They're sinking to the bottom like an anchor dropped in the middle of the ocean somewhere, sinking at warp speed. Yes. Okay. We knew it was coming. We knew it was coming when we told you last month that the Montreal Canadiens, in the first 2 months of their season, had the easiest strength of schedule. Now that the calendar turned into December, the Montreal Canadiens have the second toughest remaining games on their schedule. Only the Florida Panthers have a harder strength of schedule left to be played, which is great news for the Montreal Canadiens because the Panthers are garbage, and the Montreal Canadiens have their first-round pick thanks to the Ben Sherratt deal. So a double whammy can turn into a double rainbow here. The Montreal Canadiens plummet down the standings, and Florida kind of follows them up a little bit. We're talking about the Montreal Canadiens having some a chance here at drafting very well in the summer of 2023. So here we are. What happens now? The Montreal Canadiens are in Nashville today. It's an 8 o'clock puck drop live on TSN 690. The Montreal Canadiens, since I've been off, since we last spoke, the Canadiens were 4 points out of a playoff spot. They're now 11 points out of the second wild card, right? So since we last spoke on December 16th, the Montreal Canadiens played 7 times. They have 1 win. They've scored 12 goals in those 7 games and allowed 29 goals against. Now, reminder here, if you're one of those fans that don't like losing, you don't like to see this team lose, and you're not on Team Tank, understand this. Why have the wheels kind of fallen off? Let's talk about defense. Let's talk about the fact that there is no David Savard. There is no Mike Matheson. We're talking about a very, very green, inexperienced blue line in front of Jake Allen, who was in goal for 9 goals against Ovechkin and the Washington Capitals, and then 9-2 drubbing, and then Ovechkin had fun with the Canadiens' moms after the game. I don't care about that. That's okay. It's part of kind of what we expected or thought was going to happen. A green-blue line, getting experience, taking real fire in real time, learning on the job. You know where the problem lies? You know where the real problem is? And that's where Ken Hughes has to move, and move quickly. I'm not worried about losing culture. Yeah, the 9-2 loss sucks. Sucks rocks. Full stop. I get it. But it's the give up. It's the lack of engagement. It's the, I'm a veteran. Oh, I looked at the scoreboard. Oh, 4-1. Yeah, peace. I'm out, man. I have mentally checked out of this game. And that, my friends, is a problem. And that, my friends, I would be fascinated to see and hear what conversations are like in the room from a fiery guy like Martin St. Louis, who's dealing with veteran players like Mike Hoffman, like Evgeny Dadonov, like Jonathan Drouin, like Christian Dvorak, like Josh Anderson, Joya Yoel Armia, down the list we go of guys who have made their bones in the National Hockey League that are sucking rocks 24/7. Evgeny Dadonov, what purpose does this guy serve? Josh Anderson, who's on the right side of 30, has 1 goal in 5 games, and has 12 points 35 games deep into his season. What the hell does Josh Anderson do on this team? This is the player Ken Hughes has to look at hard, and look at other general managers and put his NHL power agent hat on and start to make moves and start considering life after hockey without Josh Anderson. Because I'm not worried about losing culture. What I'm worried about are bad habits. It's so hard to get out of bad habits. Once they seep in, once you're used to them, once you groove a bad habit, it's borderline disaster. That's what worries me. Nick Suzuki hitting a wall, so to speak, it's okay. He'll overcome. Cole Caulfield, 2 goals in his last 5 games. He's got 30 points in 37 games. He's on pace for 47 goals. Nick Suzuki's on pace for a 71-point season. I'm okay with that. It's all good. Kirby Dach, who's kind of slowed down, 1 assist in his last 5 games. He has 23 points. The list is long of guys that are in the top 10 of scoring on the Montreal Canadiens that have no goals. Nick Suzuki, Kirby Dach, Christian Dvorak, Mike Hoffman, Evgeny Dadonov, Jonathan Drouin. Jonathan Drouin has played 21 games. He has 6 points and no goals. You know what I mean? Like, these are the players, and I heard a while ago that come Christmas time, don't be surprised if Jonathan Drouin is asking to be moved out of Montreal. Well, that hasn't happened yet, but it's coming. And I'm here to tell you that Josh Anderson should be on the block. And that if I'm Ken Hughes, I'm calling general managers. I want the salary off the books. And I want to start looking at potential suitors here. And I'm not talking about, Ken Hughes trading Jake Allen. I'm not talking about Ken Hughes taking away toys because he's watching Connor Bedard rewrite the history books of the World Juniors, saying, well, we have to move heaven and earth in order to get 16 as a Montreal Canadiens. Look, the Montreal Canadiens are doing that and doing a very good job of doing that all on their own. But it's the bad habits. It's the bad habits that have me concerned. And I'd love to know, when it looks like guys like Mike Hoffman or Evgeny Dadonov or Christian Dvorak or Joel Armia have given up on a night, what's being said? Because I'd love to know if Nick Suzuki's, is Nick Suzuki, does he come across to you as someone that could get in Mike Hoffman's kitchen and read him the riot act because Mike Hoffman is gliding and not moving his feet and his care level hasn't moved off 0? Is Nick Suzuki a strong enough leader to get in Mike Hoffman's kitchen and give him the business for a lackluster effort? Is he that type of leader? Because if he isn't, it's okay. It's not a criticism. He'll grow into that role if he hasn't already. But Martin St. Louis is the guy, not Alex Burrows or anybody else. I want Martin St. Louis to be in Drouin's kitchen. I want Martin St. Louis to be in Christian Dvorak's kitchen. Kick Josh Anderson in the pants, say, what the hell is going on here? Where's this power forward I've heard about? Where's that game? This is what I'm looking for. So we'll see what happens tonight in Nashville at 8 o'clock. A game you can listen to live on TSN 690. Montreal 1-6 in their last 7 games. They have 2 wins overall total in their last 11 games as they fall further and further down into the overall NHL standings. And it's going to be a fun ride down the stretch to see who's engaged and who isn't engaged. And there are moves to be made. And Josh Anderson is the first move. Because, again, he's on the right side of 30. He's got a digestible contract. And I think it might be an easier sell and a greater rate of return than Evgeny Dadonov, Joel Armia, Jonathan Drouin, Christian Dvorak, Mike Hoffman, yada, yada, yada. Whole bunch of guys that nobody really is going to give a hoot about or pay a decent price in terms of a transaction. So that's kind of where we are with the Montreal Canadiens in the aftermath of a brand new year. And I guess the second half really of the Montreal Canadiens season starts tonight at 8 o'clock in Nashville. Jim, what up? If you were Jeff Gordon, what moves do you do at the deadline? Well, I've already outlined a couple of them. In particular, I'm starting my list with Josh Anderson, and I move my way down. I wouldn't be allergic to trading Jake Allen, honestly, and not because I want the Montreal Canadiens to lose and suck rocks and do all that kind of stuff, but in terms of getting more prospects, getting more opportunities to strike. Maybe Jake Allen wants to go somewhere else, even though he's on the record being a great teammate that he is. You know, he wants to be a part of the rebuild in Montreal and wants to be a part of that journey, right? But I'm not allergic to that move. And the goaltending market is a little light. And if the Montreal Canadiens, again, there are how many untouchables on this team? How many, really? Cole Caulfield, Caden Gooley, how many true untouchables? Jake Allen, as much as you may like him and his teammates may love this guy as being just a great teammate, Jake Allen is not part of the untouchables. And, you know, when you look back at how the Canadiens have fared, whether it's the Galchenyuk draft, the Kotkaniemi draft, Juraj Slafkovsky's draft, I mean, it was fun to see the team have a chance at drafting super high, ultimately getting the number 1 overall pick with Juraj Slafkovsky. But this is different. This one's different. This is Connor McDavid style. This is Austin Matthews. This is it. This is the big one. And look, I'm not here. I've never pretended to be a junior expert. I never pretended to let you all know about Connor Bedard and why he's a superstar. I didn't watch Connor Bedard. I've watched the highlights. You've watched the highlights, but I'm watching the World Juniors. You're watching the World Juniors. I mean, you see a common denominator here amongst the generational talents that have come and gone throughout the years, and they're thriving in the National Hockey League. Connor Bedard is in that conversation. He's a very, very special player, and that overtime goal he scored last night against Slovakia, chef's kiss, was beautiful. Can't wait to see what he does against the Americans tomorrow night in the World Junior Hockey Championships semifinal Wednesday for Team Canada. And this is where I think Ken Hughes looks at what's going on. And let's be clear again here. You know, the Montreal Canadiens have hit this wall and they're disintegrating. It's okay. There's no way Ken Hughes, Jeff Gordon are upset, mystified, baffled. What the hell is going on here? The Montreal Canadiens, as I hate to be an I told you so guy, but I'm definitely an I told you so guy today. The Montreal Canadiens were full-fledged in their honeymoon phase. They thrived in it. They did some heavy lifting. They played well. You don't take anything away from their efforts they had in the first 2 months of the NHL season. But this is why we tell you the NHL season is a marathon, not a sprint. And you got to manage your output. And the Montreal Canadiens are too green, especially on the blue line. They're a one-line team, and if you shut down Suzuki or Cole Caulfield, a combination of the two, you're going to have a really good, easy night at the office. And that's what makes Josh Anderson and Joel Armia and Mike Hoffman and everybody else, Christian Dvorak, so underwhelming. Is that it's obvious that some of these guys have full stop given up. And you can't have that. That's the problem. Not the losing, not the creating a culture of losing. No, it's players that don't give a shit and give up. That's where I have a problem. And you have to believe Martin St. Louis, the guy that's defied odds at every turn in his entire career. There's no way this guy's sitting on that saying, whoa, just letting that go by. Martin St. Louis is hardwired to be a fierce competitor, and the care meter has to be significant. And if it's not there, I want to see Ken Hughes and management make those adjustments and make sure that the losing culture isn't contagious, and that these opportunities where guys have a chance to show what they're made of but check out anyway, you can't have that. You can't have that whatsoever. So it's going to be a very interesting ride, a very entertaining ride as the Montreal Canadiens, this game, 37, 38 of the season? Man, it's going by quickly. Lawrence, good morning, Lawrence. We knew that the tough part of the season is now. Yeah, I've been telling you this since the beginning of the year, since the beginning of the season. Enjoy the honeymoon. Enjoy this Cole Caulfield success. Enjoy Nick Suzuki blossoming into a center as a captain of the Montreal. Enjoy it. Don't take anything away from it. And it could come back. Okay, it's bits and spurts here, but this is it. This is the reality. And again, I'm not changing. Juraj Slafkovsky with the Montreal Canadiens is a hell of a lot better than playing in the World Juniors. Let me tell you, full stop. Juraj Slafkovsky is an NHL player all day, every day. No business being in the World Juniors. No problems there. Zero problems there. It's playing out kind of as we thought it was going to play out. So in Martin St. Louis, in Ken Hughes, in Jeff Gordon, you should trust. And look, there's a lot of room left on this leash here if you want to make me eat my words down the line. Costa, ti canis, re? Costa, Happy New Year. Yes, Happy New Year to everybody. Good to be with y'all and good to be seen once again. Don't forget, TSN 690, the morning show, yours truly, Connor McKenna, every day, 6 to 10 a.m. You're always welcome to join us. We'd love to have you. And it's good to be back. It's good to be back. We're ready for another push towards the NFL playoffs. As one more week to go, just scary stuff yesterday in Cincinnati, and nothing but the best for the Bills safety, who suffered a cardiac arrest on the field in the first quarter. The game was postponed Monday night. They have to play it. The Bills and Bengals have to get that game in. When they do that, it's got to be tomorrow, because, again, the Bills are home on Sunday to the Patriots. I think the Bengals are playing the Ravens on Sunday. So, yeah, this is an important game. Seeding. It matters between the Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals, and it's been a nice break. But it's good to be back. I love what I do. I don't consider this work. It's a passion project. Whether I'm talking to you on the radio or talking to you here on YouTube and stuff like that, I love doing it. So thank you for watching. Thanks for being a part of it as always. I will be back later this week. Hopefully, I'll have my new dog, Hank the Tank, making his inaugural appearance on In the Car with Star. Don't forget, as always, you can find us on YouTube, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all your favorite social media channels is where you can find In the Car with Star. Give us a like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Support me, support my sponsors like K-Stop Gas Bar in Depanneur, Highway 138 in Ganawage, premium fuel at discount prices, and an incredible snack game. And today's what? Today's Tuesday. I think today's Taco Tuesday. Burrito bowls, freshly made in-house at K-Stop Gas Bar. They got a full professional kitchen. That's why it's not your run-of-the-mill gas station here. The McCumbers, Frank Sr., these are good people, run a very, very professional gas station. Premium fuel discount prices, K-Stop Gas Bar, Depanneur, Highway 138 in beautiful Ganawage, Quebec, right over the Mercier Bridge. All right, my friends, enjoy tonight's game. Habs and Nashville Predators at 8 o'clock in the Car with Star. We'll be back later this week to break it all down and set the weekend up.